What made your Sergeant Major actually smile? Sergeant Major Williams was a stone-cold nightmare. 28 years in the Army, 3 combat tours, and a face that looked like it was carved from granite. Never smiled, never laughed, barely spoke except to destroy souls during inspections. This man had seen everything. Survived Mogadishu, Afghanistan, Iraq, lost half his squad in Fallujah. Nothing impressed him, nothing amused him, nothing even registered human emotion on his weathered face. Our unit was preparing for deployment when Private Jackson showed up. Fresh from basic, 18 years old, from some tiny farm town in Iowa. Kid was so green he still ironed creases in his PT shorts. Jackson had this habit of talking to himself while cleaning his weapon. Not mumbling, full conversations. He'd argue with his M4 like it was disagreeing with him. "Now listen here, Betsy," he'd say to his rifle. "You better not jam on me downrange. We're partners now." Everyone thought he was losing it, but Jackson explained he'd named all his equipment after his sisters back home. Rifle was Betsy, pack was Sarah, helmet was little Emma. Sergeant Major overheard this during a surprise inspection. We all froze, waiting for the explosion. Jackson kept talking to his gear like nothing happened. "Sorry, Sergeant Major," Jackson said. "Just making sure the girls are ready for action." Williams stared at him for 30 seconds. Dead silence. Then moved on without a word. 2 weeks into deployment, we hit our first IED. Convoy stopped, engines smoking, everyone scrambling for cover. Jackson's vehicle took the worst of it. When the dust settled, we found Jackson pinned under twisted metal, conscious but trapped. His rifle had been thrown 20 feet away. Stock cracked, scope shattered. Medics worked to free him while Jackson kept looking at his destroyed weapon. "Poor Betsy," he kept saying. "She didn't deserve that." Took 3 hours to extract him. Broken ribs, concussion, but alive. As they loaded him on the medevac, Jackson asked Sergeant Major to take care of Betsy. "She's got some miles left in her," he said, blood dripping from his forehead. "Just needs some love." Sergeant Major took the broken rifle. We figured he'd turn it in for parts. Instead, he spent his free time rebuilding it. Ordered new components, fitted everything personally, even had the armorer help with the scope. Jackson came back from medical leave 3 weeks later. Sergeant Major called formation, had Jackson stand at attention, then presented him with his rebuilt rifle. "Betsy's ready for duty," Williams said in his gruff voice. Jackson took the weapon, ran his hands over the new parts, checked the action, everything perfect, better than factory new. "She's beautiful, Sergeant Major. Thank you." That's when it happened. Williams' stone face cracked. Just for a second, a tiny smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Gone so fast you'd miss it if you blinked. But we all saw it. The most terrifying man in the Army had smiled because an 18-year-old farm boy cared more about his rifle than his own injuries. Rest of deployment, Williams treated Jackson differently. Not soft, never soft, but with respect. Kid had proven something that day. Not just courage, but genuine love for his equipment and his mission. Jackson made it through the deployment, went on to become a squad leader, then sergeant. Still names his gear after family members. Still talks to his weapons like old friends. Williams retired 2 years later. At his ceremony, he mentioned Jackson by name. Said the kid reminded him why he loved being a soldier in the first place. "Some people serve for country, some for honor," he said. "Jackson serves for love. That's what makes a real warrior." After the ceremony, Jackson asked Williams what made him smile that day. "Son," the old Sergeant Major said, "you treated your weapon like family. Any soldier who loves his gear that much will never let down his brothers." That broken rifle still hangs in Jackson's apartment. "Betsy earned her retirement," he says. "Now she just has to look pretty and remember when a farm boy and a granite-faced Sergeant Major found common ground in taking care of what matters."